As of this morning's news, Pope Francis blesses mortal sin, releases a document, a declaratio blessing mortal sin. We need the cardinals to gather into a special conclave and do what is necessary to remediate the church. Do what is canonically necessary, licit, viable to remediate the church. And by the way, in your grouping of cardinals, to anyone out there who's listening in Rome, please don't invite anyone who is called a cardinal under Pope Francis. Now, I'm not saying I know that those called cardinals under Pope Francis are not cardinals. I'm saying, as I've always told you, I don't know. But what you need to do to be effective, canonically, legitimately, magisterially, is to get together, have a special gathering or conclave, if you will, and only invite those cardinals who were made before Francis, because you don't know what your deliberations are going to turn up under Francis. The point is, for months, pairs, orbits, and retrogrades, for the last months, since early summer, we were told that Pope Francis, who fired Cardinal Ladaria, the outgoing CDF, he fired him for his statements in 2021 that the church can't bless SS couples. We were told for months that firing and the replacing with Cardinal Fernandez had nothing to do with policy, with the policy of enshrining the blessing of same couples, SS couples. We were told that, remember? And what were you told over the late summer and early fall after the release of 10 dubia attached to the synod, which said we're going to bless SS couples? What you heard everywhere was, if you bless SS couples, that's just blessing the individuals. Let me read for you in this document on the pastoral meaning of blessings. Again, it's always long. That was released this morning and is making waves. Within the horizon outlined here appears the possibility of blessings, get this, for couples in irregular situations, of course. That means divorced and remarried and can't even get an annulment. And for couples of the same sex, the form of which should not be ritually fixed by ecclesial authorities to avoid producing confusion with the blessing proper to the sacrament of marriage. That's paragraph 31 of On the Pastoral Meaning of Blessings. Now, out there right now, all the dummies, and we should have an IQ test to be a Catholic commentator.
And how long have you been Catholic, Tess?
How long have you been Catholic? And IQ 120 or over? There should be an IQ 120 or over. And have you been Catholic for the last 5 years? But out there with the dummies, the IQ 98s, with audiences of IQ 92s who look up to IQ 98, and with people that have been in and out of the church 5 times, they are saying all the wrong things. They're focusing on all the wrong aspects of this document. As they themselves were saying just weeks, days, months ago, the big question with the blessing of SS couples matter is whether or not we are discussing a blessing qua couple or a blessing qua individual. And this was very clear in the responsum to the dubia that was made back in September. September or October? October the 1st, September the 30th. It was for one or both parties in a couple. That's how Francis fudged then. For one or both of the members of an SS couple. That's the direct word. And I was saying this at the time, and I was telling you, and you guys, Patriarchy and retrogrades, you listened. But the people out there were saying, no, this is like It's not a blessing for my whole Little League baseball team if I go and get a blessing on my own, qua an individual. Yeah, of course. That's fine. And anyone who's a sinner who presents themselves for a blessing, who presents himself for a blessing, even though set theory pertains to all these different genuses. It's like the problem of the universals. He pertains to Little League baseball player, but he's not being blessed qua baseball player along with his team. He is a pants wearer. He's not being blessed along with all the other people on planet Earth wearing pants that day, alongside them, jointly. He's being blessed severally, and the church knows the Platonic problem of the universals. Yes, one particular man belongs to all of these different broad, abstract, universal categories, but he's not being blessed qua a constituent part of one of those broad, abstract, universal parties. You understand? Again, it's basic stuff, but this is why you do need upwards of IQ 120. And I see good people out there saying this right. Anthony Stein, I see Kennedy Hall saying this right. But there are dummies who are making stuff up to talk about. And the whole question, according to Michael Lofdog, this entire time was, yeah, those couples, if they get blessed, they're just being blessed qua individuals. Well, let me read to you paragraph 31.
USCCB just came out with a statement I'm printing for you to read.
Cool. 31. Blessings for couples in irregular situations, divorced and remarrieds, and for couples of the same X, say. Not for individuals who might, in their lives, be involved in a couple of abstract import, right? If you present yourself one-on-one, again, it's like, well, I'm not presenting myself with my Little League baseball team or the couple that I'm part of, or the being a pants wearer or a glasses wearer or a ginger or a brunette or a blonde, because I'm not presenting myself with all of them. The big point is couples may present themselves, and this is a change from a 2021 bulwarking of the church teaching by the outgoing doctrinal chief, reversing it, saying, yes, couples may be blessed qua couples. They don't have to be blessed qua the individuals who constitute them. This is the whole kit and caboodle. Now, what you're going to hear is a whole load of bullshit, and it's silly. Okay, the blessed as individuals is out. The argument that, well, the church stipulated, which they did, that this is not a blessing of a confusable, fungible SS couple for a married. That no one cares. Everyone knows they can't be married. I told you that doesn't matter years ago. You're also going to hear that the church says in paragraph 11, well, the church cannot bless the extramarital relations definitely being engaged in here. That's paragraph 11. I'll read that. For this reason, since the church has always considered only those sexual relations that are lived out within marriage to be morally illicit, the church does not have the power to confer its liturgical blessing when that would somehow seem to offer a form of moral legitimacy to a union that presumes to be a marriage, which doesn't matter, or an extramarital sexual practice. Now, this is what they're currently saying. They're out there saying, so the couple is being blessed qua a romantic couple, and they fudge on this new question of, well, they are being blessed as a couple, as a romantic couple. That's the mortal sin. That's the beginning of the mortal sin, right? Holding hands lustfully. If I were to hold hands with anyone but my son, and I was doing it to be a couple, this is mortally sinful, illicit sexual practice. We're not just talking about going to home base. You understand? So To bless as a couple, you're blessing the inherently romantic rapport, the inherently sexual rapport that is disordered. So this fake boilerplate distinction is a distinction without a difference. Because if you are blessing, you can't say, I'm blessing this dual conspiracy of two murderers as they go to do a murder, not afterwards when they're swearing they're never going to do it again. And they're committed to this conspiracy of murder, and we're going to bless them on their way to the murder. Okay? Now, what if the church said, yeah, we're blessing them qua a conspiracy of murderers, but we don't bless murders? Well, which one wins? It's obvious. It's not debatable. The church's teaching, in perennial teaching, on formal cooperation versus proximate material cooperation and remote material cooperation is very clear. It can do nothing, zero, to root for the spirit of the act. That would be formal cooperation. It's such a strict teaching that even if it's not rooting for it, can do nothing to materially aid proximately the conspiracy to murder, or the conspiracy that a proximate material cooperation by the church would be a contradiction in church teaching. And this is more than that. This is formal cooperation where you're blessing the union, but you're saying you're blessing the union qua a romantic thing. But you say, no, I'm not blessing the pinnacle of that romantic act. It does nothing to vouchsafe or to bulwark the church's perennial teaching. That teaching is obliterated. USCCB has stated that in response to the declarations Fiducia Supplicans issued by the Vatican's Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith today, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops offered the following statement from its spokesperson, Chieko Noguchi. The declaration issued today by the Vatican's CDF articulated a distinction between liturgical blessings and pastoral blessings, which may be given to persons who desire God's loving grace in their life. The Church's teaching on marriage has not changed, and this declaration affirms that, while also making an effort to accompany people through the imparting of pastoral blessings, because each of us needs God's healing love and mercy in our lives. So, it's essentially, you can believe us or your own lying eyes. Here's the proof. What a lot of you don't know, and a lot of you aren't checking the facts because this is a double cross. It's a hit job. Cardinal Ladaria was fired by Pope Francis for his 2021 affirmation of church teaching. Fired. He absolutely fired him because Cardinal Ladaria said, hey, Pope Francis, remember in that documentary in 2020 called Francesco, when you said that there must be unions, he's talking globally, legal unions for SS people? Well, that violates the church teaching. They're going at it for a year. Pope Francis fired him in order to make this change to church teaching. The document called On the Pastoral Meaning of Blessings is issued to abrogate church teaching. If church teaching still stood what it had been for 2023 years, then there would be no document issued. So if you start talking to an IQ 90 Pope-splainer who says that this document makes no change, all you have to do is say, hey, what does the document accomplish then?
Why 5,000 words?
Yeah.
Why 5,000 words to say anything?
Why 5,000 words? But more than that also, why paragraph 31? It says that you could bless mortal sin, these mortally sinful couples, as the romantic couple, qua the romantic couple. Also ask number 2, why did Pope Francis replace Cardinal Ladaria as doctrinal chief, attemptedly at first, a year ago, with Cardinal Heiner Wilmer, the German synodal way bishop who has led the way on this effort. Did you know that? He made the doctrinal chief, or tried to, anyway. He replaced Ladaria with Bishop Heiner Wilmer, who has led the way on all this. He's part of the German synodal way that Pope-splainers have been laboring so laboriously to extricate from Pope Francis's synodal way. When the cardinals objected secretly, we can't get a story on this, by the way. I have checked with all my friends in Catholic journalism. No info in, no info out. He just said, okay, I'll go to the second most pro-SS civil unions, second most liberal cardinal in the entire church, Tucho Fernandez, who now has reversed Ladaria's teaching. So all you have to do is say, why was Ladaria demoted and someone who would reverse his teaching as the doctrinal chief promoted?